intelligent data engineering. Gen AI is super hot. A lot of people are jumping into Gen AI, so I'm super excited to hear about what Vishwanath's going to tell about data engineering and Gen AI. So super excited for the talk. With that, welcoming Vishwanath to the stage.
Lifeless. If you listen carefully, you can hear that data, and it's whispering, "Wake me up." Say hello to Informatica. This is more than the world's leading intelligent data management cloud. This will make your data larger than life, powering over 250 intelligent cloud services and launching new ways of thinking, innovating, doing. This is next generation AI-powered access to trusted data and insights wherever and whenever you need them. Use what you need, pay for what you use, connecting across any cloud for everyone across your organization, truly democratizing data with the highest levels of scalability, integration, and security. Chaos and uncertainty, gone. This is our time, your time, go time. It's time to take your business to new heights, to bring your data to life. You now have a single source of truth via metadata. Managing data to give it life, to make big bets, to help you leapfrog the competition. The numbers don't lie. Globalization, optimized. Customer experience, transformed. Digital innovation, delivered. So what are you waiting for? An invitation? Informatica, where data comes to life.
Hello. Welcome, everyone. Hope you guys had a good break and had your cup of coffee or tea. Right. All right. So as we were discussing about Gen AI, I have a few questions to begin with. Right. I know what your companies may be pushing you as data engineers to look at Gen AI. How many of you haven't been pushed by your management? So let me show of hands here. That's good. There are few people who are not looking at Gen AI, which is good. And how many of you think that Gen AI could help your jobs? That's fantastic. So that's what we're going to speak about today, right? One is how Gen AI is changing the way businesses are looking at data. And the second is how Gen AI is able to help you as data engineers in your day-to-day jobs with automation and many other things, right? So let me kickstart. I'm sure all of you would have gone through this journey. I mean, some of you probably were not born during the first descriptive and diagnostic analytics use cases. And the use cases have matured over time, right? So you have descriptive and diagnostic analytics, which is driven by on-premises, data marts, data warehouses, Teradata's, Oracles of the world, and then move to predictive analytics. That was cooler, right? Everyone talked about big data, big data analytics. How many of you have done coding on Hadoop or Hive or MapReduce? Fantastic, right? So you guys know it, what I'm talking about. And then it moved to prescriptive analytics. And I think Vinod was talking about cloud lake houses, right? And how they have started to look at or helping you as data engineers to get your businesses up to speed with the prescriptive analytics use cases. Not me, okay? What's from outside? Okay. Yeah, let me continue. Hope you guys can hear me at the back. Okay. So, and finally, now, the generation of artificial intelligence and generative AI, right? AI is there for a long time, right? How AI is driving the business use cases and how AI is helping data engineers to be more effective in their jobs is something that's coming up. And especially in the world of automation and operationalization, etc. Someone spoke about ML ops, right? So we speak about how building ML models was cooler, and now how to deploy them into your data integration or data engineering workflows That's cooler, right? So we will see about how some of those things are maturing over time. All right. So why is AI important? I think it's a moot point here, I'm assuming, right? So many of you know it automates repetitive learning through data, right? Which means that you can perform frequent high volume tasks which are repetitive in nature through the power of AI, right? And that adds intelligence because it's a conversational platform. Especially Gen AI is a conversational platform which helps you to get large volumes of data analyzed and give you the response, right? It adds intelligence. Of course, like Joe was saying, whether you rely on it for would you bet your life on it? Probably no. But would you learn from it? Of course, yes, I do that, right? And analyzes more variety and volume of data. So how many of you have heard of Apache Iceberg, right? Iceberg tables. So that's a new mechanism of data that's coming in, and customers are actually pushing us as vendors to support Iceberg. So and similarly, more variety of data coming in to your business from either from the partners or others. How do you use deep learning mechanisms to learn from it? And finally, incredible accuracy. Of course, it also depends on the quality of data that you feed to it, but when you feed a good quality of data, it provides you the incredible accuracy in terms of your either the models or your data engineering workflows. Well, can AI work without challenges? Of course not. What are the typical challenges? It requires data from many places, holistic data as we call it, right? Where does data come from? From your IoT devices, it comes from your databases, it comes from your other streaming sources like Kafka or from CDC data that comes in, right? And even partner data through files which arrive through EDI flows, right? So something like that. You need to have a holistic data view, which means that you need to be able to ingest that data from various these pipelines into your, whether it is a data lake or data warehouse. I'm not getting into that discussion, right? And then high quality data, which is a prerequisite, right? You know that the model which has poor data, garbage in is garbage out. We all know that, right? High quality data is a prerequisite. And democratized. How many of you as data engineers are being pushed by your business technologists, as Gartner calls it, right? By business analysts or the side of the business, guys pushing, I need more access to the data. Give me access to this data, that data. I need access to my marketing analytics data. So I'm sure all of you are being pushed, right? So you need to democratize that data to more and more people so that they can use it. And when you democratize, it comes with the additional cost of governance. How would you ensure that the data is not being used in the manner that you are is being used in the manner that you have actually defined policies within the organization? So for a data and AI fueled digital transformation journey, all these four, especially high quality data, becomes very, very prevalent, and it's a need of the hour. There is no data with trust without no AI without trusted data. So these are some examples. I'm not going to read through all of them, but these are some very typical use cases that we see where AI actually fails, right? I'm sure you would have heard of MS Chatbot spewing racist tweets, right? So it, they used uncleansed Twitter interactions to train the models, right? So the garbage in, garbage out kind of scenario, right? And within 16 hours, it tweeted about 100K tweets with some of them bordering on the line of being racist and all that. I mean, why is it? Because the models, I mean, it's not the problem with the AI, it's the problem with the data that's being fed, right? And then Zillow Home, right? So they had a machine learning model which predicts the cost of the house, and which in turn, help them, estimate the price of the house that's listed. And you see there that some of the overpaid homes resulted in about $300 million worth of inventory write-downs by the company. So it's a huge cost that you pay for the bad quality of data. I mean, there are many other use cases where like the bad AI leads to attorney sanctions, and others. I'm not going to read through all of them, right? But you get the idea, right? So without the trusted data, AI cannot help you. And then which essentially means that data engineering is the key for AI, right? So success of AI is dependent on trusted data, which means data engineering process needs to be foolproof for it to provide the data in a trusted manner so that it can feed into the AI models and leads to the correct predictions. Otherwise, you lead it with missing or incomplete data, or even inaccurate results. Either it is going to over predict or under predict the data, right? So reduce the value of the entire effort. And also on the right hand side here, right, you see AI also needs intelligent data management, right? So why is that? Because you need to ensure that the data is transformed and enriched before it's provided, it's deduplicated, so that you remove the bias in the data, right? And then provide trusted master data, and then end-to-end lineage. I think Joe was talking about the lineage, right? So lineage becomes very, very important. How do you make half of the trust of the data comes from who is using it, where is it come from, right? So if you probably would trust the data that your colleague is using in his analytics rather than which is coming from somewhere else, right? So you know that, hey, there has been some trust angle to it. And also end-to-end lineage, where is it coming from? Is it coming from my EDW? Is it coming from my transactional data source? So that actually provides an angle to the trusted data as well. And 75, I mean, this stat, right? 75% of companies already integrated AI into their business strategies and reworked to cloud. So what I'm tilting to here is the cloud, right? So it's essentially, it's not just the AI in the business strategies, but also cloud is playing a significant role in the way things are spanning out right now. And how does Informatica help, right? So Informatica has Intelligent Data Management Cloud, which is our cloud solution, right? Which is powered by Claire, which is our AI-powered metadata management solution, metadata intelligence solution that helps you to get the power of data and use it for your automate some of the flows that you have actually built in, and with a ton loads of connectivity. So you see all the data sources at the back here, at the bottom here, which it can connect to, right? So whether it is like Joe was saying, whether it is NoSQL, whether it is relational sources, which mainframes or streaming sources, etc. So we need to connect to it, and then deliver the data for all your use cases, whether it is developers, ETL developers, data engineers like you, or data scientists and others, using the ability to understand the data, using data catalog, ingest the data and govern the data, integrate the data and govern the data, and then master the data as well, with the power of data quality feed into it, right? So it provides the end-to-end platform for the entire data management within our cloud, right? So and Informatica, we have actually anticipating the changes in the industry, technology changes in the industry, as well as the changes that the customers are actually going through as well, right? So if you look at, I mean, the amount of innovations that we have done in the last 5 years, if you look at before 2018, we had data integration, app integration, and data sync as a part of our cloud solution. In between the last 3 years, between the last 5 years, we have added cloud mass ingestion for replication use cases, data quality for ensuring that your data is standardized and quality, advanced serverless for pushing down or running the jobs in a serverless environment, SQL ELT for pushing down the compute to the data warehouses, right? So I'm sure you are looking at Snowflakes, Azure Synapse, etc. So how do you push down the compute to those, right, instead of doing the compute somewhere else, right? Data catalog for the analyzing the impact of the data, or even the lineage and the cataloging information for the data. And in the last 1.5 years alone, we have we have actually looked at data engineering community more closely, right? And then we have provided free data loader, which means, you could use the power of Informatica CDI data integration free solution to load data from any of your sources into your data warehouses without any charges, right? So I have a slide coming up which explains that. And CDI free, which also offers data integration capabilities free of cost. InfaCore, which is the pro code. I'm sure there are a lot of coders here, right? So I'm not discounting that at all. So you guys love to code? Yes, we are going to help you with the Informatica functionality in the IDE of your choice with InfaCore. I'm going to speak about it. And models are for operationalizing ML models. That is one of the key use cases that we see with customers, key challenges, because someone builds a model in data scientist and throws it over the world to data engineer and say, now you deploy this into my production, right? So we exactly know what you go through. And Joe explained how it gets generated and thrown over the world to the data engineers, right? Clear GPT, this is where things get interesting. We are actually using the power of generative AI within our solution so that you can automate your data engineering jobs in using the power of generative AI. So I'm going to speak about it. And then advanced data integration with the elastic compute, elastic serverless compute, etc. So those are some of the innovations that we have done. So which means that we have added a lot of functionality catering to data engineering, looking at the demand and looking at the patterns that are being seen at the customers. All right. So if you look at IDMC as a platform, right? So we talk about data that's coming from any source, and it's targeted to the people or the persona of whether a data engineer, data scientist, or anyone, and then the applications which is coming from the industry applications or the retail applications or manufacturing applications, etc. So you can use that all the power of that, and then use the power of Informatica IDMC to generate the business value that's needed, right? The motto has been easy, efficient, and cost effective, so that you can get it done faster, you can get it done with lesser cost, as well as you can get it done without having to invest a lot of your time in the whole process. All right. So I know there was a question on data mesh, right? In the morning today, right? So Informatica IDMC supports all data architectural patterns, whether it is data fabric, data mesh, data lakehouse. I think talked about data lakehouse. So we support all the patterns with our IDMC, right? So if you look at if you are implementing any of the patterns, we are back. The important thing is, yeah, we spoke about generative AI needs or AI needs data management, right? So data management also needs AI. Why? Because it is you have to automate some of the repetitive tasks that you do, right? If you don't do it, you will not be able to scale up to the new use cases that come up within your enterprise. So with the power of 35 plus petabytes of metadata that we have, and also 61 plus trillion transactions that happen every month, we are able to get that metadata to generate recommendations, automation insights into your data engineering flows, so that we can automate most of the data engineering efforts that you actually spend. That's the power of metadata and the power of CLAIRE that we are speaking about here. So let me just double click on that, right? So when you say how to automate your data engineering activities, right? So there are two things. One is Copilot. I'm sure you know the role of Copilot, right? So he sits next to the pilot. He doesn't do everything, but he kind of guides the pilot to do the activities, right? So that's exactly the definition of Copilot, where it is integrated into your data management solution, like Informatica solution, where it provides all the recommendations, whether it is the next best transformations, data quality insights, column similarity, schema matching, and those kind of functions which are built in automatically so that it recommends you that, hey, this is the next best thing to use based on the historical or heuristical data that we have from other customers, right? So that's the large language model playing its role there, right? And then the second part is the generative AI powered data management. This is where things get new and very interesting, right? So it starts a conversational AI platform for you to do data management, right? So you can say, I want to, here is my source. I want to generate a mapping or a flow between my Oracle CDC into Snowflake using conversational UI. And then I want to do downstream transformations on the data to make it available for analytics. Sounds too good to be true, but I would suggest you wait few more months, and then we are going to release this end of the year or early next year is what we are looking at, to provide a conversational AI platform for data management, which powered by our CLAIRE, which is our AI powered data management solution. I'm really excited about the CLAIRE GPT, which will further simplify the job of data engineers like you, so that data engineering also needs AI for automation. That will be solved. And let me look at some of the other solutions that we provide. Replication is one of the, I think some of you, the earlier speakers also spoke about replication from SAP, SAS and DBs. Especially, we are seeing replication from SAP as one of the key use cases that we are seeing from many customers these days, right? So, which is efficient bulk load and CDC, and then automatic handling of schema drift and many other functionality, etc. Right? So that builds into the wizard-driven approach, so that you can actually even democratize this and give it to your business analyst, saying, hey, here is your solution. You can just ingest data using or replicate data from your sources into your data warehouse using this solution. And then once you ingest data, you will have to do data integration, right? Data engineering on the data, right? So we provide whatever your use cases, whether it is a cloud data warehouse or data lake processing, NoSQL DB processing, or open table format like Iceberg processing, and complex data formats like Avro Parquet, etc., or hierarchical data transformations, which is if it's deep down hierarchical data that comes from, say, your point of sale devices, right? How do you parse it, etc. So, and FinOps powered cost governance, which means it helps you, it tells you the FinOps optimization engine that we have built, which is powered by CLAIRE, helps you to identify which is the best engine to run this job, right? So some of them can be run it on a Spark cluster, and some of them can be run on your pushed down to your data warehouse for optimization, and some of them can be done in a traditional ETL mode. So the engine here decides which is the best for you based on the cost or performance parameters that you actually throw in. So let's say I want to run it really fast. This is very important for me, right? So we push it down to Spark for the high scale execution. If you say cost is a major angle for me, you push it down to data warehouse, right? So those are some of the innovations that we are actually building in as part of our data integration. And I spoke about no code free data integration, right? So this is a CDI free. So I know there is a QR code here. You can actually scan it and get a free version of data integration for yourself, right? So which is a free solution which will help you to get data, integrate data, or engineer data to make it ready for your analytics, right? And then help you to it automates the most of the things, including the ability, the need for deploying an agent and all that. It automates the whole process for you. And then here comes the interesting part, right? I know some of you, okay, all that is great, but what do you do for the persona who likes coding, right? I know I like my Jupyter notebook, or I like my IDE. What can I do? How can Informatica help me with this IDE, right? So what we have done with this new solution called InfaCore that we released last year is helping, or what we call as headless data management, which is power of Informatica provided as a package, right? So that you can install it on top of your Jupyter notebook and call the Informatica functions within your flows. Instead of writing, so let's say you want to standardize the data that you have read from, say, Kafka, right? Or for your data science use case, right? So one option is to use Informatica IDMC and then use the UI. The other is, okay, install these packages and call these Informatica functions within your Jupyter notebook, so that you can instead of writing 5,000 lines of code, you can actually write 100 lines of code and get the same thing done, right? So that's really how we are helping a pro code or the coders, the coders in you to make use of the Informatica functionality using the power of AI. And then I spoke about the serverless deployment of AI ML models. I'm sure every organization now has data scientists, and their job is to build AI models, right? So now, okay, one is building the models. How do you deploy them into your data integration or data engineering flows? That is where things get really complicated, right? And how do you ensure that the models are up to date and the latest versions of the models are being picked up for your analytics, right? So we provide Model Serve, which helps you to do integration of the AI ML models that is built into your data integration or data engineering flows, right? So basically it acts as a bridge between data scientists and data engineers. So that's one way of looking at solving the integration problem between data scientists and data engineers as well. So to summarize, right, ROI of, if you look at the average ROI, this is based on Nucleus report, right? Average ROI of Informatica solutions, IDMC solution is 328%. And then I'm not going to read through all the numbers here, but the most important thing is at the bottom right, which is payback period is 4.2 months, right? So if you can operationalize, and then also payback period is just 4.5 months to get you the data and systems in place, right? So in summary, Informatica provides the comprehensive cloud data engineering for every use case, for every skill set, and especially for data engineers, with the power of free CDI free PayGo, or advanced data integration that I spoke about, InfoCore for the pro code persona, and then Model Serve for the deployment of the machine learning models. All right, so and you can register for the CDI free PayGo or go to data engineering. We have a community as well for the data engineering central. One of our marketing guys is here. He is actually leading that, and we'll be happy to register you to the data engineering central community. And we have a 30-day trial of InfoCore that you can just download and play with it within your solution of choice, right? So that's something that you could do. And these are some of the resources that you could use for getting to know more about our solutions. All right, that's all I had. Maybe I'll take a few questions if there. I think I'm on time, right?
Questions for Vishwanath? There's one back.
Hope it made sense.
After tea, people have become silent.
Hey, hello, hi.
Hey.
Just wanted to understand, do you have any advice for firms or startups that, let's say, maybe a little early stage at the moment, but they still want to adopt